So yesterday I covered a note in which we learned that the best and brightest on Wall Street, which may or may not be saying a huge amount, have still yet to fully grasp the fact that Tesla is in fact one of the world's, if not the world's, leading AI companies. We did hear, however, that these very intelligent investors who don't own any or a meaningful amount of Tesla stock do believe that it is conceivable that possibly in the future, maybe, Tesla might in fact eventually have something to do with AI. I think it's fair to say that broadly speaking, big money investors still have not yet realized what Tesla has done and is doing with autonomy, AI, and ultimately humanoid robots. However, we are now starting to see the narrative shift ever so slightly toward reality, still more than half a decade late. Check out this short clip from Doomberg.
Is known for some very lofty predictions here, but talk to us about why investors would be excited about this if this were to become true.
Well, I think we have to start off with what strikes me as the most interesting and important point, and that is Elon Musk is the king of AI. People don't realize it, but he is building an ecosystem that is comprised of these robotaxis. It's comprised of all the satellites in the skies.
Does Jensen Huang know that Elon Musk took his crown?
So he's hardware.
Oh, okay.
So at some point down the future, it's going to be commoditized. Elon Musk is going to be the king of all of these shiny AI things that we...
This is stunning to hear on a mainstream finance outlet, an admission of Tesla's AI dominance, primacy, leadership. Now, been almost 5 years that I've been pointing this out publicly on YouTube and longer privately, but this is wild to hear. The narrative for the last 5 years as I've been covering content here is Tesla, just a car company. What AI? What autonomy? The competition's coming. Cruise and Waymo ahead of Tesla. Tesla doesn't have anything that Toyota doesn't already have. And now this. We've got to listen to that again.
Excited about this if this were to become true.
Well, I think we have to start off with what strikes me as the most interesting and important point, and that is Elon Musk is the king of AI. People don't...
King of AI. And then she goes on to point out that people don't realize this, which is also true. Incredible.
Realize it, but he is building an ecosystem that is comprised of these robotaxis. It's comprised of all the satellites in the skies.
Does Jensen Huang know that Elon Musk took his crown?
So he's hardware.
Oh, okay.
So at some point down the future, it's going to be commoditized. Elon Musk is going to be the king of all of these shiny AI things that we use in the world, and especially if we do use robotaxis at some point. And otherwise, it just doesn't make sense her saying that this is going to be an $8 trillion company, because if we think about the robotaxi itself, it may hit the road in 2028. At that point, it could be $50 million. 2032, maybe $1.5 billion, maybe meaningfully profitable at the end of the 2030s. To say you're going to get a...
Oh, fuck me. Just when I was giving raps. Now we've heard, by the way, I'm pretty sure I just heard correctly, they're anticipating, I don't know where this opinion is coming from, but somebody, maybe they're regurgitating someone else's opinion, Tesla's robotaxi business could be profitable at the end of next decade. What the fuck? What? I mean, hey, they're making progress, but holy fuck, dude. We're talking more than a decade and a half from now before they think Tesla robotaxi business would be profitable. Is that what they said?
May hit the road in 2028. At that point, it could be $50 million. 2032, maybe $1.5 billion, maybe meaningfully profitable at the end of the 2030s. To say you're going to get a 10 times fold increase off of that alone, it just doesn't make sense. But this is also a battery on wheels. It's actually distributed power. It can be driven to places. Utilities might rent it. And then the other thing is that I learned today, I know, the look of fascination on your face is the look of fascination.
Is that fascination or confusion on my face right now?
I don't, fascination, I think, which is what I had a really interesting conversation with one of our analysts here, Stephen.
So before we hear the fascinating thing that she just learned today, I do want to point out that she has just said that this is something that she just learned today. I'm curious if this is something that we've just discovered today or it's something that's been known for some time / half a decade or more.
Tan, and he was talking about everything that Elon Musk is doing with all these different companies, and it's just so compelling. And another point, he was the founder of OpenAI. People don't often think about that. They think about it with Sam Altman, but the Tesla computer itself is as strong as these computers, and they're hooking them up, and there's computer power. So my point here is this robotaxi is not just an automated car that might take you and I, from point A to point B or something along those lines. It's so much more, and I think that that's what her big bet is.
So breaking news, apparently Tesla, king of AI, Robotaxi is possibly a big deal, but don't worry, folks. It's not like they're going to be meaningfully profitable until the end of next decade, according to what the Bloomberg analysts. So don't worry. You have plenty of time to keep accumulating and building your Tesla position. And now from autonomy back to the vehicle business. Tesla Cybertruck was among the top 5 most registered electric vehicles in the United States in May. And importantly, it beat all of the other electric vehicle pickups, with the number higher than the next 2 contenders combined. Tesla's still continuing to embarrass the so-called competition. Anyone remember recently some dimwit claiming that Cybertruck was a flop and a failure? And I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? The Tesla Cybertruck, which entered the US market in November 2023, so less than a year ago, became one of the best-selling all-electric vehicles in a relatively short ramp-up period. Tesla Cybertruck was the 5th most registered electric vehicle in May, with 3,907 units. This means that Tesla had 3 electric vehicle models in the top 5, obviously Model Y and Model 3 at the top 2. For contrast, in May, the Ford F-150 Lightning had 2,353 new registrations. Rivian's R1T had a whopping 1,237, and General Motors, who led and mattered, according to the scriptwriters of the big guy, their Chevrolet Silverado electric vehicle did a whopping 668 oh, fuck, dude. Units, and the GMC Hummer, 359 registrations, respectively. So the most popular type of vehicle in the US, pickup trucks. Ford's F-150 brand of pickup truck, on a good year, sells close to 1 million units. Their electric version of an incredible brand, which should be dominating, being outsold by Cybertruck in May, almost 2-1. And awkward for Rivian, Cybertruck selling more than 3 times as many units in the month of May. Now, this is only 1 month, but imagine you're Rivian or Ford or Government Motors and the Cybertruck, the ugliest thing to exist, the doorstop on wheels, the non-serious product, the stock pump, the vaporware, is already meaningfully outselling your flagship pickup truck, and it's still early in the process of ramping production. The article continues. One of the most striking things is that in May, the Cybertruck accounted for over 45% of registrations of the top 5 all-electric pickups. And now a story in 2 parts. While we're on the topic of electric vehicles and pickup trucks, quote, Ford commits to investing $1.8 billion to become the first manufacturer in Canada to build full battery electric vehicles. This was back in 2020. Well, just a quick update. Ford to build Super Duty pickups at Canada plant instead of electric vehicles. Ford said it will spend $2.3 billion to install assembly and integrated stamping operations in Oakville, which will add about 400 more jobs than EV production would have. So we see Cybertruck rocketing up the electric pickup truck sales list, now already number 1 in the month of May, and it's still early in the ramping process. 2020, Ford, going to build EVs in Canada. Fast forward a few years, Ford, we changed our mind. We're actually going to keep producing ICE vehicles instead of the electric vehicles. I mean, they've clearly just given up. But don't worry, many other legacy automotive companies are fine. Wait, what's this? Honda, free cash flow, trailing 12 months in billions of dollars. Oh, that's a great trend. It appears Honda is about to start bleeding billions of dollars per quarter. What could possibly account for this? Spoiler alert, the answer is declining ICE sales, inability to profitably produce electric vehicles at scale, end result. This is an insight into the same trajectory of the financials of every legacy automotive manufacturer. Holy shit, dude. I mean, look at this. The trailing 12-month free cash flow back in Q3 2022 was $17.6 billion. Q1 this year, we're now at 1. Holy fuck, dude. I mean, just extrapolate. This is brutal. But, of course, unsurprising. And while legacy automotive companies see collapsing sales and profits on their ICE business at the same time they can't make any money on their electric vehicles, Tesla low-key doing shit like this. Today, Tesla and Intersect Power announced a contract for 15.3 gigawatt hours of megapacks through 2030. This is an order worth over $3 billion for big fucking batteries. As Mr. Breaking News points out here, year to date, Tesla has installed 13.4 gigawatt hours of energy storage globally. Right, in the first 6 months, this single order from this single customer is equivalent to what Tesla's deployed in the first 6 months of this year, give or take. Now, obviously, this will be spread out over many years, but the point is that these orders are enormous. Tesla's massive stationary storage products are no-brainers, and demand for these things is going to be near infinite throughout this decade and next. people are finally just starting to consider that, maybe that energy business is going to see some strong growth and profitability, which we knew was coming and Musk has been telling everyone for years. We're now just starting to hear some hints that Tesla may in fact be the king of AI. Robotaxis may happen. I mean, the estimates are still very bearish, but at least the conversation is starting to happen. And yet, as I record this, Tesla stock still down almost 40% from its all-time high closing price back in 2021. I'm sure it's nothing. One final data point, Tesla AI narrative starting to shift. This from Morgan Stanley, who a couple of days ago disclosed that at the Tesla investor lunch, some investors are starting to finally consider the possibility that Tesla may in fact have something to do with AI eventually, maybe one day, possibly, maybe. And now this. Investor survey suggests high volatility and AI greater than electric vehicles. 3 pithy thoughts from our 2-question Tesla investor survey sent to our distribution list on July 17th. Who cares when it was sent? Very recently. 137 responses. Number 1, AI is seen as a bigger driver than electric vehicles with a ratio of roughly 2-1. A nearly even split in terms of views on the 12-month forward stock price performance for Tesla. 3, time to think about Master Plan 4, which may take on a new altered significance depending on the US election outcome. Now, no. Doesn't matter whether or not Orange Man Bad is elected or a new scamdemic appears out of absolutely nowhere and everyone's locked down and suddenly some late mail. What I'm trying to say is Tesla will not alter their plans one iota in response to a Trump and or whoever they replace Biden with administration. So let's see the results of this survey, keeping in mind that many, if not the majority of these respondents don't necessarily own Tesla stock. What do you consider to be a bigger driver for Tesla's share price over the next 12 months? 33%, the core auto business fundamentals. 68%, oh, so close. AI, quote, narrative. Now that's interesting. I wonder why they'd use the term narrative. Question 2, how do you expect Tesla shares to perform over the next 12 months relative to the S&P 500? Extremely even split here. 17% significantly outperform. 28% modestly outperform. 6% in line. 29% modestly underperform and 21% significantly underperform. At this point, they may as well have just been throwing darts. Morgan Stanley email list respondents completely split. Of course, no one knows what's going to happen, but hey, if I were a betting person, and I am, I would suggest that this is not representative of the likely probable outcomes, and I'll just leave it there. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1.
If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back.
So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.